Okay, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is what my diorama is made of. So obviously it's just a lid of a shoebox, and then I have some cotton balls. I used hot glue to texture the board, and then I have some pipe cleaners, and then I had just found some little stones in my mom's craft box, so I used those, or marbles I guess, and then more pipe cleaners, and then the cotton balls on the other side. Okay, so first we're going to talk about the continental shelf, which is the top layer of the cotton balls. So I kind of stacked them so you can tell like they slope down. So the top layer is really just the continental shelf. And then you go into the continental slope, which is just kind of how I created an angle going down with the cotton balls, which is just the steady incline of the slope that goes down towards the trenches in the bottom of the ocean floor. And then the trenches are what I use to, the hot glue to texture just kind of symbolize that there's trenches at the bottom of the ocean floor, which can be these canyons can be considered like the deepest spots on the ocean floor, even the deepest places on Earth. And then we have the mid-ocean ridge, which I used pipe cleaners to symbolize, to kind of show how they have peaks and then they kind of have valleys in between, which is kind of like how I left a gap in between. And then sometimes they can also have trenches in the middle, so I use these stones to represent a trench amongst the ridges located on the ocean floor. And then we have abyssal plain, which I just kind of left like some room over here. There's just different areas where there's nothing, so that will be considered like the abyssal plain, which is really just kind of like the sea floor, where like the thick layers of sediment where there's nothing there. And then we have the volcanic islands. These I used to represent the islands, and then these are the seamounts. The seamounts are basically the mountains that the peak does not break the ocean surface, like the water surface. And then the volcanic islands are basically volcanoes that start underwater on the seafloor and grow up, and they breach the ocean surface. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And then we have, so obviously the active side is going to be the side with the more tectonic activity, plate activity. So that would be the side with the mountains and the volcano. So that would be this side. And then the passive side are the margins that are found along the coastlines where there's no collision or subduction taking place, meaning there's no mountains forming and no major ridges or trenches.